Hello everyone, today I'll be showing you how I've been studying Korean. Firstly, the textbooks I use are the Seoul National University textbooks. Out of everything I've tried, this is my favorite way to learn. Each level has 4 textbooks, Student Book A and B, which has all the lessons, and Workbook A and B, which has exercises and revision material. Each book comes with a CD with audio and activities to help you learn. The CD that it comes with is almost like an interactive website. I find it really easy to learn with. There's different sections you can learn by. Personally, I like to study by units because everything matches the textbook, so everything is in chronological order. I'm currently on Unit 8, so I'll take you along and I'll show you how I personally use the textbook and the CD to study. The vocabulary page comes first, so I'll usually try to translate all the vocabulary. Some I might already know from previous lessons or from watching K-dramas or something like that, or because I've just researched it in the past. Otherwise, I will probably use Papago. Papago is a great translator, but I would recommend only using it once you have a good understanding of the language, so you can tell if the app is telling you the correct thing or not. I also recommend you use it for individual words more than for translating full sentences, because that's when the translator can give you something that's incorrect. Alternatively, you can also look for the vocabulary at the back of the textbook in the glossary. That way you know that it's 100% correct. After that, I will use the CD to play vocabulary memory games and also to learn the pronunciations of all of the vocabulary so that I know that I'm saying it correctly.
기분이 좋다. 기분이 나쁘다.
After learning the vocabulary, I'll move on to the grammar. Each unit has around 4 to 5 pieces of new grammar. I'll usually Google the grammar to learn more about it, and my favorite website to use is the SNU Korean blogspot because I feel like it summarizes everything to a level that I can understand. This is just the website that works best for me. You might have different preferences on how you like to learn. You might like something that goes into a little bit more detail. If so, just look around and see what works best for you. After I have an understanding of the grammar, I'll usually try to translate the first example that they've given us, just so I can see if I understand how the grammar works and what it's trying to say and what it's supposed to be used for. If I'm still not sure how to translate it, some grammar is a little bit harder than others because it can be used in many different ways, then I will use Papago to try and figure it out. Again, use translators with caution. After that, I'll again turn to the CD to see how it would be pronounced.
내일 친구들하고 부산으로 놀러 가요.
And I'll also do the exercises that the CD and the book have for practice. In the book, after every 2 to 3 pieces of grammar, there is a speaking segment. Usually I'll read through and make sure I understand everything that is being said. I'll research any new vocabulary that they might have said, and then I will use the CD. The CD and the book match. It gives variations of the same conversation so you can practice it. I'll usually listen a few times for pronunciation.
무슨 안 좋은 일 있어요?
And then I'll practice speaking it out loud. After learning the grammar, I will pull out my notebook and write notes on each of the grammars I just learned. Here are my tips on note writing. First of all, again, you need to do what is best for you. Personally, I'm a very visual learner, so I like to use a lot of color in my notes. I also suggest that you try to summarize your notes as much as possible, because to summarize, you need to have a good understanding of what you're writing. So if you can't summarize it to a sentence or less, that means that you don't perfectly understand what you're trying to learn. The way I set out my notes is that I'll have the grammar at the very top, then I'll have the example, the main example that the book gives me, and then I'll write some notes about how the grammar works, when it can be used, some loose translations, and anything else that I need to know, like pronunciation rules and other stuff like that. In the last portion of it, I will have some more examples, just so I can see how it is being used in different scenarios. And finally, I will swap to my workbook, in which I will do all the exercises for the grammar that I just learned, as well as for the vocabulary. At the end of each unit, the student book provides some pronunciation rules and other activities that summarize the unit, and the workbook has some revision, and the CD really helps because it matches both things, so you can have listening exams for yourself. So yeah, this was my in-depth video on how to study Korean. I really hope it helped you out. I will leave all the links below for all of the textbooks that I use. Hopefully it helped you out. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.